Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be kind of different. I normally do reviews and I've just started doing vlogs. But today I wanted to kind of have a chit chat video with you guys. I get some questions asked to me a lot personally from friends of mine and acquaintances of mine over different things. Obviously, they're usually related to homeschool, motherhood, just housewife, I guess, type questions. So today, I have my lovely coffee cup. Okay, I love it. But I have my coffee and I have my kids settled and entertained. So I thought I would answer one of those questions I get all the time. It has to do with homeschooling. So if you're a homeschool mama, you want to stay here. And it is, how do I get all my homeschooling done in a day when I have multiple kids who are multiple grades? Okay, so I've said this in other videos, but I have 5 children. 4 of them do schoolwork. Okay, I have all my ages. I have 3, 5, 7, almost 8, 10, and 11, almost 12. I have been homeschooling since my oldest was in first, and well, no, okay, I take that back. That's complicated. We'll get into that in a minute. But this is like year 7 for me. So anyhow, back to topic. How do I get all those grades done and all those ages done, not lose my mind and still have time for other things? So the grades that I'm homeschooling this year is I have 2 doing 6th grade. I have 1 doing 2nd grade. That's a whole nother video. And I have 1 doing kindergarten. And then I have a toddler. Well, she's not a toddler. I guess she's almost a preschooler. Sad, she's my baby. So the trick to this, the number one trick, it's not really a trick, but the best thing you can possibly do is buy curriculum or make curriculum, whatever you want to do, where you are grouping this together and doing it as a unit, as a family. This will save you the most time, and it's honestly like fun. I love it. Can't imagine ever changing to doing it any other way. I can't imagine one doing earth science and one doing life science and one doing chemistry, or one doing the Middle Ages and one doing, my cat distracts me in every video. You know, I can't imagine doing 3 to 4 different sciences and 3 to 4 different histories and all that stuff. So the number one recommendation I have for you is to lump as much of this together as you can. And if you're not a homeschooler, you're just thinking about it, or you're a new homeschooler and you haven't thought about it yet, it is possible. I get questions and they're like, that wouldn't really work though, right? Because I mean, your 7-year-old can't possibly learn the same science or history or whatever as your 11, almost 12-year-old. That makes no sense, Chelsea. That can't be done. It can be done. So you can find lots of different curriculums, or you can make your own curriculum. You know, I'm a big advocate for doing things your own way. 2 of our most used, most liked curriculums that I'm sure you've heard of to do this are Story of the World for history, and honestly it kind of does geography too, and Apologia Science for science. Those are 2 companies that I'm sure you have heard of as a homeschooler mom, or even if you're just looking into it. They're big, everyone talks about them, and they're really good. I love both of them, and they both do this. So for those 2 things, you get 1 textbook, or storybook if you will, and you read those, or you can take turns as a family. You can pass the book around, but it's being read out loud. That is how we do it to save time. We're all going to read it together. You can sit in your living room. You can have your coffee and they can have their oatmeal, or however you want to do it. You can do it at a tea time. We've done that before, like a poetry tea time, but with a lesson. You can sit around your table. You could all sit at your desks in your schoolroom, however your family does school. And you're going to read this lesson all together, okay? You're going to discuss it all together, because A 7-year-old is going to have a different question and a different understanding of what you just read than your 11-year-old does. But they're both getting something out of it, and they're both learning. So you're going to read it together, you're going to discuss it together, and I ask the questions, the review questions. I ask it out loud for everyone to answer, and surprisingly, a lot of times, even my little one who just turned 5 a couple of days ago, she'll answer the review questions in that book. Okay? So even if they, you think, oh, well, of course my 11-year-old will know that, it's surprising and amazing to see the little ones understanding and learning and knowing so much too. So that's awesome. So all my kids are getting something out of it, and so am I. Okay? And then once those questions are answered, and this is for both the history and the science that I just spoke of, then we'll go into whatever assignment goes with that. Story of the World has a lot of map work. All my children do the map work. I even print off an extra one for my 3-year-old to color. Okay? So we're all doing that map work together. My 2 older ones will sometimes take quizzes. They choose to. They ask for the quiz booklet. They think that's fun. That's fine. If there's a writing assignment, my 2 oldest, they're independent. They do it on their own. I will help my younger 2. And then you can change things. So the writing assignment might be to write an essay, like a 3-page essay or something. Well, that's great because this is for kids in all different ages. So my older 2 can go and write that essay. And then, I'll change that for my almost 8-year-old. And I'll change that and we'll write something else about it. You can just take the assignment and lower down the expectations, or you can make it totally new. So sometimes I'll say, tell me 5 things you remember from the lesson. Let's write that down. Or I'll say, I want you to pretend you're this character in what we just read and tell me how you felt about that. I change it for him. Sometimes I change it for my older 2 if I felt like the assignment was too easy or too hard. And then even my 5-year-old who just adores anything school, she wants to do it. So I'll help her. She'll tell me what she wants to say. I'll write it down. She thinks it's a hoot, y'all. So that is how I get history and science done. I don't always do those 2 brands. I am eclectic, I would say. I can't stick with one thing for a really long time. I get bored. And that can be both good and bad. I also enjoy unit studies a lot. Lap books. I like to take just chapter books and go find different unit studies for them. Unit studies are a great way for big families to be able to get it all done together. Okay? It'll have you might have one book and you can go find unit studies for younger kids for that book, for older kids for that book, or you can, get those creative juices flowing. And I've made unit studies on my own lots of times. There's just so many different things you can do and make and have fun. And unit studies a lot of times don't just have science and history. They will have math, they will have grammar, they will have writing, they will just have health, all kinds of things that you can do. And there's different things we've used the Prairie Primer before, which goes along with the Little House on the Prairie books. We've been using that this last year. And that is a whole family unit study. All my kids do it together. It includes every subject. I have to tweak a few things, but generally it works out fine. So there's just all kinds of things. So, like I said, my number one thing is to lump as much of that together as you can, and you will be surprised. There are writing curriculums that you can lump young ones and old ones together. There's grammar things where you can lump old ones and young ones together. But my favorite things to lump together are science, history, and Bible. I'll find whatever I can. Prairie Primer includes Bible. When we're not doing that, I will get a devotional of some kind, and we'll all do that together. That is a great way to start your day. I'll kind of do a homeschool routine video for you guys, but I find that as Christians, that just really gets our day off to a wonderful start. It makes you feel connected and refreshed, and it kind of puts all your minds into the right state of mind to start your day, loving one another and having a good attitude. So Bible, history, science, lump those babies together, do them as a family, and that'll save you so much time. Okay, another thing is, I'm sure you do morning baskets. Who doesn't do a morning basket these days? I don't actually have a basket. Some people do. I just know what we're going to do in that morning, and Bible is one of them. And then you can put in fun, different type of history or different type of science, geography, whatever you're wanting to learn about. Maybe it's about a different culture. You want to throw that in. Maybe it's a language and you want to throw that in. And that counts. That's school. You're doing it all together, okay? From the littlest to the biggest, you're all going to get something out of that morning basket. I will make a video going into further detail about that morning basket soon. So lumping them together. How we do that, I said how we did it, but so I said we do Bible, and then I like to do everything we do together first, okay? So once our together things are done, then I'll split up, but I still try to do it together. So if my two oldest girls are doing their 6th grade spelling, then guess what? My 7, almost 8-year-old is doing his 2nd grade spelling. He's a mix of 1st and 2nd. So he's doing his spelling. And if my new 5-year-old wants to work on writing and spelling of some sort, then she's going to sit down with her little notebook and her little, pencils and markers, and she is going to work on her spelling. But it's all going to be done together, because I found that if you have multiplying fractions going on over here and phonics going on over here, when you're trying to teach this kid how sometimes E says this and sometimes E says that, and this kid wants you to remind them how to make the denominator common, it's hard. It makes me, personally, I start to get snippy or cranky, or you just need to wait. I can't even help you right now. And then you're just slowing up your whole entire day. I found that if they're working on their spelling while my littles are working on their spelling, then if someone has a question of, hey, why is this pronounced this way? Why is this spelled this way? My brain is open to that subject, and I'm able to go back and forth and help. Now, luckily, my 6th grade girls don't need a lot of help in that subject, but my brain is open with that information, right? It's like if you have a bunch of different tabs open, your computer's going to slow down if you're trying to go from one to the other, one to the other. Try to keep that on one tab. Your brain, it's all going to run more smoothly. You're going to stay more calm, and your kids are going to feel like you're really there and invested in that subject, and like they can just jump in and ask you anything. And just like I said, you will stay more calm. And that's a big thing. Stay more calm. Okay. So then they'll all do math at the same time. And yes, it's way different math. My 2nd grader might just be learning how to borrow, while my older 2 are starting to do algebraic stuff. So it's very different, but my mind is set on numbers and it's ready to go with that information. And so it just makes it run smoothly. I also try to take our big break. We take that all at the same time. We eat lunch together, we talk, we go outside, we walk the dog. That's all goes together. I have found that if my older 2 are going to have a subject that's going to need my full attention more, like maybe they're working on a really hard writing assignment, they're learning how to do something new in that, I might have my younger ones take a break, okay? They might go play a card game, do a puzzle, help each other, like read little books to each other, or just go play because they're little, so I can put my full attention on them and not also be worried that like, you didn't write your letter right on the line. No. Okay, so if you're trying to do something new, break that up. But anyway, I have found that by lumping a bunch of subjects, as many as you can, together that make sense for your family, that's going to save you on time. So much time, you guys, so much time. Therefore, you have more energy to put into other things for them and with them. Because if you're trying to do 3 or 4 different sciences in 3 or 4 different time periods, too many tabs, okay? Too many tabs are open. You're not going to do as good. And then, like I said, doing even the subjects they have to do separately, like grade level wise, do that together, saves your brain energy, and it does, honestly, I feel like things go by faster for us. And then we do read alouds for them all. I don't have one book I read aloud to. I mean, I do. I read picture books and stuff, but I'm talking about as a family read aloud that you're going to kind of discuss and get things out of and all that. I will read some books that are a little older and my little kids might not get it all, but they have fun. And then I'll take a break and read something a little younger that, my little kids fully get and my big kids just think it's fun and funny. So that saves time there. So those are my, I guess that was just a couple of things, but I'm telling you guys, those things make all the difference. Keep it simple. Don't stress yourself out. Trust me when I say you can lump those subjects together, and not only will your little kids understand it, they will learn so much more than you thought they could learn, while it's still grade and age appropriate for these big guys. Try it. I promise you, you'll be surprised. So those things help us as a big family get through our school day quickly. I mean, you're going to take time. That's your job. That's what you're here for. That's what you're doing, is teaching your children. It's going to take some time, but it makes it not take from breakfast to dinner that way. And it also keeps me more in the moment with them. I have the energy and the patience to do it if I do things that way. So I hope those tips help you truly in your homeschool day. If you have any other questions about that, or any advice, like any tips that you want to give to me to add to my day, that is fully appreciated. So I hope this helped you guys. If you have any questions, like I said, just ask. If you have any tips, leave those down below as well. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any recommendations for other videos, I'd be happy to hear those as well, you guys. You guys have a good day, and we'll see you next time.